Oftentimes, when we build a house, we do not have regular maintenance on our mind. The harsh weather in Ghana leaves no room for a house without maintenance. Your house is going to be really ugly. So in this video, I dive into the cost involved in maintaining a house that is about 5,000 square feet and how regularly we have to do it. As part of the maintenance and renovation, I also closed the pool at my house. So let's dive into it. We are taking a look at my personal building where I'm doing maintenance. After 4 years of living in the building, I've done a couple of maintenance, but it was not as intense, right? So we are going to dive into the cost involved, right? If you live in a house, especially Ghana, the weather is really harsh. So the sun, the rain, it's really harsh, and it's, it take a toll on the building. So you have to do regular maintenance, such as, peeling off certain paints, certain areas, especially the outside, repainting it, applying treatment once a year, twice a year. I've been living in this house for about 4 years now, and this is a very thorough maintenance as compared to the other ones in the past. We wanted to utilize the space underneath the stairs. I actually hated the space under the stairs. So what we did was to create a storage space, which I'm very happy about. When you live in a house for a sustained period of time, sometimes there is certain parts of the house that you are not too happy with, that you want to make a change to. And that was the case in this building. The major thing that I did in the house, which is something I've announced about 3 years ago that I was going to do, right? And that was to close my pool. When I built this house, I was living in New York and I didn't know much about pools. What I did know was rich people have pools in their house, and that's what I aspired to do. I wasn't much of a swimmer, although I was in the US Navy. Swimming has never really been my thing, although I know how to swim because you need to know how to swim in the Navy. But I enjoy swimming. I just don't see myself swimming every day. The maintenance cost of the pool, I did not know anything about it, right? I mean, regular maintenance of the pool, applying chlorine, pH, all that stuff. Somebody coming to clean the pool, the whole nine. I had no idea. And also the risk of having kids, right? And how my pool was designed, how open it was. Even if your kids know how to swim, visitors, people dying in the pools. It happened to Davido, and my mother was, against it as well after Davido's lost his child. So I had to close this pool, and it finally came a time for me to do that after, all these years. So in this particular video where I dive into the maintenance of my house, I also closed the pool and did a lot of other works, some mistakes that happened during construction that I had to correct. It was nothing too crazy, but I had to correct, and this was the time for me to do that. We noticed that the wood door was fading, so we applied some chemical known as water stain. The weather in Ghana is very harsh, so there are cracks, peeling of things, the weather, raining, and the hot sun. You have to peel certain paints off, go over it again, just to keep the house brand new. The house actually looks better now than it did when it was first built, because we changed a couple of things around to make it look very beautiful. Stem concrete. The downside of stem concrete is you have to maintain it. Every 3 years you have to come and polish it because the color does get a little weird. It's beautiful, but you have to maintain it. I also had to take down the initial chairs and tables that we had at the balcony because it was mounted to the wall and was preventing us from regularly painting that wall, and it was just making maintenance a bit difficult. Plus, I just didn't like the way it was set up anymore. I wanted the freedom, mobility. The black paint that you see on the wall and the buildings is known as bitumen paint, and this is used for dump proofing. Basically treats the concrete from dampness and things popping out and all that. You see some people living in a house for a very long time. They're not maintaining their house. It's looking really ugly. And it was once upon a time a very beautiful house, right? When it was first built. And if you do think about it, it doesn't cost a lot of money. You can have your house looking really nice by spending about, depending on how big the house is. My house is more than 5,000 square feet, but definitely less than 6,000 square feet. You can paint the whole house with like $2,500, $3,000 just painting. But this particular works that I did in the house is a little bit capital intensive. Definitely less than $10,000 because I had to close the pool. I had to tile the balcony. I didn't like the stamp concrete there. The place wasn't as clean as I wanted it to be always. If you have tiles, you can easily mop the place and all that. So I ended up tiling the place. Additionally, I got rid of my summer hat and brought in a new one, which is different from the summer hat. I brought in a new type of roofing suggested by my favorite carpenter. I just had to do so much work, more work than your regular renovation, which is your painting and a few things, right? I changed a couple of things around, even bought new furniture for the balcony and my boss too. I got new furniture coming in. Also close underneath the stairs of my living room to create more storage space. I did a lot of work this time around, and there's more work to be done maybe 2 years from now. The stones kind of look front of my house because acid was applied to it to give it some sort of gloss, and that was a deadly mistake. They didn't manufacture it in such a way that you can apply acid to it, so it caused a lot of issues, and it doesn't look as good as it originally did without the acid. So I eventually have to get rid of it, and that's gonna cost you like $2,000 to do it. It's not really about the money, it's more about the work involved and all the breaking and all that stuff. It's not that necessary right now. It doesn't look as bad, but eventually I have to change it. So maybe 2 years from now, I'll change it. You don't want to do everything in one. Then it becomes like a whole construction in itself. It's supposed to be maintenance. I am a land seller. I've sold land to a lot of people in this very area that you are looking at. Plot of land is going for 85,000 Ghana cedis. If you are interested in buying a plot, the link is in the description below. A plot of land measures 70 feet by 100. This area is very promising. We are currently experiencing the road dualization of the Tamakosombo road. So it will usually take you about 50 minutes to 1 hour and 10 minutes to get to the airport. But when this road construction is finally completed, we are looking about 40 minutes to 45 minutes on the average to get to the airport. I wanted my welder to fix one bar that was falling off, but we came to realize that the previous welder just did a very terrible job. So we had to take the entire bar decoration thing off and then bring in a new one. Flower pots will also get painted. We added graffiato to the works because this was actually supposed to be stones in the original design, but due to cost analysis we decided to avoid the stones because it was just gonna add like an extra $3,000 to the bill. But now I added graffiato to it and changed the color. It looks amazing. Getting rid of the summer hats. The guy who did the summer hats work for me didn't do a great job and kept falling off, creating a lot of mess. I hated it. I also didn't like the look of it. Since I've closed the pool, I felt like I can do something that's much bigger. The renovation and total makeover of the pergola. Now, the pergola wasn't well treated by the previous carpenters. They didn't add the water stain. So my wood was being affected, but I caught it right on time for me to apply my water stain. That will stand the test of time. I introduced some nice warm lights in there, and I got rid of the stamped concrete and brought up my talent so that I can mop the place, keep it clean. I got rid of the embedded chairs and tables. It was very nice, but it was preventing me from painting this wall as beautiful as it looks now. So I got rid of it and I brought in something simpler. I also changed the roof on the summer hats. I had to get rid of the roofing of the pergola because I didn't like how it was and they didn't do it well. So rain was penetrating to it. So this one is top notch, plus the decor to reduce the sunlight. We also did maintenance of the inside. This involved painting and skimming of certain areas. The place looks brand new again. Bringing in new furniture for the balcony. This is a fully maintained, renovated house. This is how you are to keep your house in Ghana. So when you guys are thinking about building something, the size of the house, think about the maintenance involved. As I mentioned, to keep your place up to par, you are looking at about $3,000 yearly on maintenance. I went a little bit overboard due to personal preference and some things that I wanted to change. So it was more of renovation plus the maintenance. I have a company where, we design and build houses for people. You can also come in and help you with your regular maintenance, which is not going to cost much. You can come and take a look at your building and let you know, hey, you can change these things around, you can paint here, you can do this, as you guys seen me do on this particular video, and we can bring your house up to par. Your house is going to look better than it was when you first built it, right? And it's not going to cost you much. The whole work that I did, I spent less than $10,000 on it. I didn't really keep track of this, though I calculate everything, but I know it's about $8,000, $7,500 for all the works I did, including the furniture I bought. If you want to get your house looking right, I'm not talking about hardcore work. Like, I tiled the place, but it was not much, right? I mean, the space wasn't that big. Painting, it doesn't really, cost that much to paint it, especially if it's just a single coat. So my link to my company is in the description below. We design and build houses for people. Same team that we use to do all this work is internal team that we use for all construction. Call us in and we're gonna, hook you up. Now, if you've not subscribed to the channel already, I'm always providing you guys with valuable content, especially in the real estate space in Ghana, bringing you the best deals that you can possibly find in Ghana, stress-free deals that you can possibly find in Ghana. So subscribe to the channel. I continuously come up with great deals, whether that's houses for sale, land for sale, and also beautiful designs that will inspire your imagination for your future house.